Hello everyone. We are going to talk about the symbol Reiki, and we are going to talk about using it for balancing a room. And so the room that we're using, and actually that I'm speaking to you from, this is the one that we shoot some of the, at least the indoor shots for the videos for our instructional DVDs and whatnot. And also this is where we broadcast much of our live internet broadcasting as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to balance the energy in this room. Now remember when we talked about, as we sort of flowed into the level 2 aspect of your Reiki certification, that we talked about how your definition of a client started to get much wider, and we started to flow from people to places and events, and to events in different aspects of time, either in the history, in the past, or even in the future. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to use our Reiki symbol to balance the energy in the room. And so a room, or treating a room, is really no different than treating a person. Remember, our goal as a Reiki practitioner is to achieve balance in our client. So it's no different than achieving balance in a room. Okay? So, Reiki for balancing the energy in a room. So what I will do is, now let's say I'm going to balance the energy of this room and I'm the only one here. So I can do whatever I want to do, or let's say somebody asks you to balance the energy in their house. Okay? The same concepts and steps we'll talk about here you can use for a house. It's just more than one room. Right? Okay, so what I will do is I'll start in the center of the room, or somewhere thereabouts. And I will breathe. Remember, breathing. Nice, slow, deep. Right? And when we breathe, we fill our lungs completely with air, so we let our tummy extend a little bit. Breathe in. So what this does is this grounds us, centers us. This is our opening move. Remember when we did the treatment, we talked about your opening move and your closing move. So your opening move, that's kind of like getting in the zone, if we can use a athletic metaphor or a sports metaphor, right? The guy's getting into the zone before he takes his shot. He's getting into the zone. That's what we're doing, right? So it's our opening move, breathing. Center, focus, perfect. So then what I will do is I will start at one of the corners. So for instance, we could say, let's say that the corners would be maybe like the chakras in our body. Okay, so we're just going to treat the chakras. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this corner here. So I would start with one corner. Okay, so what I do, and I'll just kind of do it facing the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and then I'll do it actually into the corner, is I draw the Reiki symbol. And then I take and I sort of flow and expand it out so it fills the corner of the room. It washes through the corner of the room. Okay? So what I would do is I would go to the corner. I mean, it doesn't, sort of close to the corner. You don't have to be right in it or anything like that. So I'll go to the corner, draw the Reiki symbol, float into the corner. Visualize, imagine it filling that corner of the room. Right? Then I go around to the next one. I don't really have a particular order, whether I go clockwise or counterclockwise. You can play with it. You may find one works better than another. I would think I'd probably go clockwise. I don't really have a good reason for doing that. Okay, so it could just be preference or just sort of the way I sort of learned to do it. Okay, so I did the one corner, then I would go to the other corner. Right, I will go to it. So I'll walk off of the shot. Go to the other corner, draw the symbol, right? Float into the corner. Then I would go around to the other one. And then I would go around to the other one. Okay? Reiki, float in to the corner. Okay? Then I would come back to the center, breathe, Reiki, and I might even just visualize it, right? Visualize it. Flow, fill the room, connect to the room, balance the energy. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I would use the other two symbols to assist or enhance this treatment. Okay? Same process. Center of the room. Breathe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my distance or my connection symbol, right, which is Han Shizei Shonen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize Han Shizei Shonen filling the room, filling, connecting. So it's as though I take my energy and it's not as though, this is what we're doing. I'm taking my energy, expanding my aura, filling the room. And then I would do the Seiheki. You could do it in the four corners. What I could do is if I'm working in the corner, and I'll just pretend I'm working in this one here so you can see me, is I may draw the Seiheki, float it into the corner, and then I would give it a boost with the Chakra Ray. Remember, Chakra Ray, power boost, right? Chakra Ray, boost. Chakra Ray, boost. So balancing and boosting the effect of that. Remember, Chakra Ray takes whatever we're doing and boosts it. Okay? Alright, so now let's say we are in a location that it wouldn't be appropriate to go through all these steps, right? So let's say that we're in a waiting room. Okay, I'm just going to grab a chair. Okay, let's try it out there. So, sitting, here I am, and I'm sitting in a waiting room of some type, maybe a hospital room, right? It could be there, a meeting room, different things like that, maybe riding the bus, different things like that, right? And I want to connect and balance the energy. So, why would we want to do that? Okay, so working back to the a room, treating a room is very similar to treating a client, our clients, right, another person. So a room can develop imbalances in the energetic structure or atmosphere of it, just like a person can. And it could have to do with the people that were in the room, right? So let's say it's a meeting room or something like that. It could have to do with the people that are in the room right now when you're with them. All right? It could have to do with an event that happened maybe quite some time ago that had a strong emotional charge to it, so it holds it into the air. It could be, let's say if the house is 100 years old, it could be something that happened 100 years ago, but if the emotions that are attached with that event are strong enough, they'll charge that event and they'll hold it, and therefore an imbalance. It could even be before the current house was there. Let's say something that happened 2, 3, 4, however many hundred years ago. If it was strong enough, if there's enough of an energetic connection to it, it could still be resonant or resident in the place. So those are some of the reasons that we may want to balance a room. So I'm sitting in the waiting room. Sometimes what I will do is I'll just sort of, rest my hands on my knees, do some deep breaths, and I'll start a self-healing treatment. Right? In self-healing, we let the energy flow through, out our hands, and into our body. So I'll just kind of breathe, breathe, breathe. The energy starts flowing. And then I do the same thing, or at least similar to what I did. A couple of breaths. Han Shizei Shonen, and I connect to the room. Fill the room. Connect to the room. And now what I will do is in my mind, I will visualize or imagine Seiheki flowing to one corner of the room. Seiheki flowing to another corner of the room. Corner. Corner. Connecting and balancing. That I may visualize Seiheki flowing out from me and filling the room. Remember, Seiheki, balancing. Very gentle but very strong. So you don't have to necessarily physically go to each corner of the room. We can just connect to the room that we're in as we're sitting and balance the energy as well. So using Seiheki, balancing, releasing, as we like to call it, energetic laxative, moving things through to balance the energy